trying to tell you that I'm not doing socials right now. But I started the stream.
Me.
Me, that's right. Me, indeed. Now my hands smell like raw pork and balsamic vinegar. It's a weird smell.
That is a random smell.
Because I was trying to prep some, because I wanted to make this recipe-ish for dinner. For like a sausage lentil stew. But I don't have sausage. I have various ground meats. So I was like, okay, well, what goes into sausage? It's just a bunch of seasonings. So I was prepping that, but now my hands smell like the vinegar and the meat.
Well, socials are done.
That was so fast.
So furious.
I'm kind of hungry.
Wow.
Well, because I was saying earlier, they shut off our water. So all I had for lunch was some leftovers from last night. But the food I made last night was pretty small. So it was not the most filling thing. But that's why. And then because I couldn't make lunch, that part 2 of that was also not very filling. So I'm kind of
Part 2! I'm gonna go here. Nap time. All naps. All naps. Murder!
grab the snack.
Grab the snack?
Yeah, I have these fancy brand, basically Pringles. They're not Pringles, but like, they kind of are Pringles.
Interesting.
Like, it's one of those companies, it's like, oh, our food is healthier, our snacks are healthier, whatever. We're organic or whatever. Things like that. But,
Interesting.
based on the tube and the flavor and the type of... This isn't even really a potato chip because it's not a direct just slice of a potato. For all intents and purposes, these are Pringles. So I have a snack so that I won't be hungry and need to bounce off the stream like immediately. Again. Yeah, I was in such a rush last time when Mick was here to like go make dinner that we said bye to the stream and then I immediately hung up and I like forgot to say bye properly to you and Mick until after I had hit the button and I was like, wait, shit, oops.
Yeah. I saw.
It felt kind of bad, but I also felt hungry.
Well, you should eat more.
Well, now I have a snack. Look, the problem is if I have to do all the cooking for all the things I eat, then that's more work.
Well, you should eat more.
Uh-huh. Okay. Anyway. Bye?
What?
Oh wait, have we been... Oops, we've been unmuted this whole time.
Wow.
Well, because I never set it back to mute after we switched last time, I guess.
Wow.
Oops. We've just been live, chatting stupidly.
I mean,
It's fine.
I always chat stupidly.
Oh wait,
That's
you know
kind of
what's
my
not
thing.
fine? That means that the game audio would have been clashing with the start audio this whole time. Well, fuck. Oops. Sorry, everyone. I don't suppose anyone's here right now anyway. I hope. Okay, we're back to this part.
What part? Who's this again? Who am I? Recording?
You're a vampire.
Well, that sucks. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, the vampire. Sucks.
That was such a bad joke.
Yeah, well, I'm still like 3/4 asleep.
I literally woke up for a nap like an hour ago.
Yeah, but I had to get up early and then didn't manage to go back to sleep after. It was like, well, this meeting's not even fucking happening. And then then there was the water shut off in my apartment. So that was stressful. And then while I was eating my little leftovers for lunch, which is why I'm hungry now, Keatseth climbed onto my lap very aggressively, back and forth and back and forth. And then I leaned over and she was like, well, fine, I'll take your hip. And then I fell asleep. I was like passed out with a worm kitty on my hip. And then after she got off, because I'd woken up, then I decided to just go back to sleep for a while longer. And then we had like celebration thingy for something at work that we sort of launched. Kind of sort of launched. It's not fully launched, but like we kind of had a launch. So we have something of a celebration today that I had organized, so I had to help. But things went back and forth on whether I had to help on this or that. And then, because part of that event was like a cocktail demo from someone who actually like knows what the fuck she's doing. Then I made a cocktail, and then I became sleepy. Hi, Pie!
Oh, hello!
In summary, today's a sleepy day.
I literally took a 3-hour nap after work. I was like, I'm just gonna like lay down and like just forget about things for a few seconds because work sucks. And then like next thing I know, I thought it was like 3 a.m.
I've also kind of just been in a weird funk since yesterday. I played that one dream that kept coming up.
Weird dream.
Disaster naps. I'm good at those.
That's all I'm good for.
Good at those. I feel like so many of my friends do those, and I'm like, damn, I want to do that, but then I don't. Then I like fuck around doing other things, and next thing I know, it's like 10.
See, I'm the type where I'm like, yes, I want to do things before the stream. But like, I want to like lay down for a few minutes and not be at a computer for a little bit before I go back to being at a computer for a while.
Went to visit a friend for a sleepover.
And then like next thing I know, hours are gone and I'm like, hey, what just happened?
Hung out, had dinner, played Magic the Gathering. Now it's bedtime. Wow.
Cool.
I have like an early bedtime, but I suppose my sense of bedtime is utterly skewed.
Yes, your sense of bedtime is utterly screwed because your sense of bedtime are like 5 a.m.
No, my bedtime is like by 4. I just don't always follow it. So last night I went to sleep at 4:30. Where are your bedtime stories? Oh no. Like, thanks. Thanks for hanging out. But also, oh no.
I mean, like I said, I listen to people while I fall asleep all the time. I'm just only because I have a doctor's appointment at 8 a.m. Oof.
Yeah.
Ooh. Apparently, I have to work this Sunday.
Up at 6 a.m. Yeah.
Eek.
I mean, technically, I'm sort of working.
No,
I'm like
I
a
have to
secondary
actively
on
be.
call.
I have to actively be at my computer. And
Normally my
like,
bedtime is like 1 a.m.
actively be working this Sunday.
1 a.m. So like solidly between now and what would be my bedtime. The problem being, of course, that so many of my friends either are morning people or at least have morning schedules. And half of those friends live on the East Coast.
I wish I didn't have a morning schedule. I hate the morning schedule.
Mm-hmm.
When
you're getting a new job.
So, I got a message at like 9. Sharky, call me. For my boss. And I'm like, oh, what does he want now? He's just like, you don't sound like yourself. You're very stressed. And I'm like,
Yeah, I wonder why.
I wonder flipping why I'm stressed. You're telling me get on the phones because you need to take phone calls. Do tickets because you need to do tickets. Work on this buyout because you need to do that. Work on this, work on that, work on that. I literally can't do this. Nobody can do this. This isn't physically possible for somebody to do this. I wonder why I'm stressed. And then y'all are like, why isn't this done?
My sleep schedule looks perfectly normal if you assume I'm in California. But because I'm on the East Coast, it looks broken. It's okay. I'm in California, which means my sleep schedule sets me at roughly, I should be like in the middle of the Pacific somewhere. I should just drown in the Pacific, that's fine.
No, that's not allowed. You need to run this stream.
No, it's okay.
Is this
I'm just a
me?
Californian
I
with a
forget.
broken sleep schedule.
Is this me?
Hmm?
Is he me? I forget.
Yes, you are Felix. I told you, you're a vampire.
I'm not a vampire.
You're this vampire?
I mean, I might, like, live in the darkness and hate the sunlight, but that doesn't mean I'm a vampire.
I'm forever amused by my old roommate who walked in when I was working from home one day. And it was like noon, it wasn't that dark.
Yeah.
She walks in as I'm like prepping lunch. And she turns on the light and is like, "Oh, sorry." And I was like, "Oh, it's fine." I mean, I didn't really have it off or on for any particular reason. It was just kind of like, well, it's morning. There's enough light. May as well take power, right? She walked in, turned on the light. She's like, "Oh, sorry." And then I was like, "Oh, it's fine." But then she continued on to be like, "I just don't know how someone can live in the dark like that." And I was like, wow, that was out of left field.
Also, unrelated, I explained the everyone is Steve until further otherwise to my uncle, including that we call Sharky Steve. Now he's calling his dog Sharky and all of his cats Steve.
I hope that means that his dog is normally named Steve. Everyone is Steve, except for Steve, who is Sharky.
I've been fairly invested in my flowers lately, hence the little stand here.
No, his dog's name is Gabby.
Do you plant the flowers yourself too?
Oh dear.
Oh dear me nay. I find gardening to be overrated. Tried it in the 18th century or so. It's far too dirty for a hobby for me. Well, that means he doesn't bury the bodies.
I'm also like, wait. Everyone is Steve until proven otherwise.
That means
Hi,
you're Steve.
we know your name, but you are still Steve. You are also still Steve.
But Pie's proven otherwise.
I don't care.
Like, Pie's very open about
I know.
her name. Just like Joe. Joe's very open about her name.
I know. But it's just more fun if everyone is Steve, even if proven otherwise.
We could all be Steves.
Like, technically, Pi knows your name. Or
I mean,
rather,
yes.
Pi could look up your name. Everyone is Steve! Like, technically, you being Steve or not has been proven to Pi. We just ignore it, and you're still Steve. So in the same sense, technically, we know Pi is not Steve, but also, Pi is still Steve. And I am Steve.
I also flip and hate that name, and I just haven't tried to look up what I would rather be named.
See, I've like sort of settled on at least a nickname. I placed some educated guesses to Sharky's name, but I couldn't say for certain without looking it up. Mm-hmm.
It's boring and doesn't fit me.
It's fine. People apparently hear my name from my mom and go, "Oh, are you Christian?" Because my name is one of those names that technically, like, makes reference to God.
Mm-hmm. I could say where my name is a reference to, but that's giving a lot away.
It's a reference to a popularity contest held by your mother at work.
Oh. See, I hate that. And somehow the middle name is so much worse.
It is.
Like, the middle name is just so much worse.
Yeah, it is.
And my brother did the same thing for one of his children. For the same reason why I have my middle name for one of his children.
Really?
Took the first name, yeah. Mm-hmm.
As a middle name for one of his kids?
No, as the first name for one of his kids.
So he just reused?
Yeah.
Ooh. Do you want to give the context to that, or nah?
Yeah, I don't care. It's funny because I went from sharing the name from one Beatles song to sharing the name from another, sharing the name with a Pulp Fiction character. So my middle name was given to me. So a thing with my family, for a little bit further context, me and my brothers all share the same initials.
And your dad.
And my dad, because one of my brothers is named after my dad. All of us share the same initials. I was going to be called something different, but then some people convinced my mom that if I didn't share my brother's initials, I would be bullied by them. Not like that would have mattered, because brothers are dicks, but whatever. So, my first name was a popularity contest in the office. My middle name was given to me as, like, I'm guessing, respect, ?
In honor of.
From, my mother's, previous pregnancy that ended in a stillbirth. They took the middle name of that child and gave it to me. And yeah, my brother took the first name and gave it to one of his kids.
I feel like it's weirder for the first name.
You, like, asked for permission and everything. Like, I really remember this. And I'm like, That just feels... ugh, on so many levels. So, it's been a thing with me if somebody calls me by my middle name, unless they're, like, very specific, people, that's a death sentence. A pure death sentence. Person's not alive anymore.
My bio grandma gave my bio mom the first name of my aunt, who died at 2 months old, as a middle name. I'm like, I don't even know where my middle name comes from. I feel like my parents just plucked it out of thin air. But my first name comes from, like, my grandma who died's, like, first name in Chinese. At which point, I guess it's not a first name because of the order of Chinese. And so this is how I ended up with, like, a Christian name, even though my parents are not Christian. Is because they just grabbed the nearest English name to that. And I'm just like...
Name choices. Yeah.
My first name is also a little overly gendered for me, and I've been trying out going by first initial as a nickname, because it's a little bit more neutral.
Yeah.
And because that was a nickname given to me regardless at one point, so I just kind of...
I've legitimately, like, if I'm talking about you to, like, my roommate, like, I just use say Satan at this point.
It's fine. It's perfect. You should call me Satan. If you need to use a more neutral name, you can go with Lucy for Lucifer. You know, if you're ever in a context where you can't say it.
Well, I also, like, I also say, oh, the person I stream with and stuff like that.
Well, yeah. I know.
But, like...
What happened to being bad influence friend? Do you still call me bad influence friend? Do I need to be a worse influence on you to re-earn that? What?
Yeah, I don't think you've influenced me in a very long time.
Are you sure?
Other than buying a game on Friday. But yeah, because my first name was a popularity contest, and that was the context for my middle name, I'm like... yeah, I just want to, like, not have any of that. Partner and I are intending to name our son Gideon. Everyone will assume it's biblical. Nope. Gideon Jura from Magic the Gathering. my daughter. She's getting named after my grandmothers. I was supposed to be named after my grandfathers. Before my mother was told otherwise. Which would have been nice for my grandfathers, I guess, because, like, one of them died when I was 2, and the other one died when I was, like, in 4th grade. So,
the weird thing for me being named after my grandma is less, like, being named after my grandmother, and more for the fact that I was named after a grandmother who my mother never really subsequently told me anything about.
Yeah.
So, like, the extent I know about the person I'm named after is basically, this was her name, I guess, in Chinese.
Yeah.
And when my mom was young and their family was poor, they used to get egg tarts and eat all the custard and give her the shells. This is all I know about the person I'm named after, and that's just strange. I have no connection with this person. I don't know anything about them, like, personality-wise, other than that they're apparently willing to take 4 empty tart shells from their children.
Despite living with one of my grandfathers, I don't know anything about him other than he fought in World War II. And own a ceramic shop at one point in time. That's it. But the son gets Gideon. Ally of Zendikar. Your mother gets home, you're in so much trouble.
Yup.
Ah, the poor child. So yeah, I've been meaning to look up different names.
Got named after porn poetry, because my dad wouldn't know in library if it bit him in the face, because he was through and through a dumb jock.
You mentioned
Mr. Data
that,
Himbo.
yeah.
Oh wait, no, himbos are supposed to be nice, I think.
Yeah, himbos are supposed to be nice, aren't they?
I think. Or at least some kind of kindly. Not necessarily, like, nice, but, like, not mean.
Speaking of
His
dirty...
youth, maybe? Fair.
You have some ketchup on your name tag?
Oh,
Felix looks down and quickly tries to wipe it off, without much success. He seems visibly embarrassed, but his cheeks don't turn red at all. Almost as if there was no blood circulation in his body.
thank you.
It's still there.
Yes, to not much success, right?
Thank you. Where was I? Yes. I simply do not have the patience for gardening. He was handsome and a sweet dingus as high school, college kid. As an adult, no. Grumpy old man who wanted people to get off his lawn. And I am not interested in the flowers while they are growing and blooming. As with many things, they are much more fascinating when they are dead.
Me.
Okay, I'm gonna pretend I didn't find this sentiment even a little bit disturbing.
What? He's not wrong.
I mean, bouquets are when they're dead. Right? Nothing.
What's when they're dead?
Murder.
Oh, bouquets?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Like, technically they're dead at that point.
Yeah, because you've cut them off.
Yeah.
I'm like... most forms of cooking involve things already being dead.
Yep, that is a true statement. That is a true statement. Becoming a murderer.
And, like, fabrics come from, well, at least
That-
old types of fabrics, I suppose. The non-synthetic kinds come from plants that are now dead.
Wool? Wool?
What?
Wool's not from a plant who's now dead.
Who what?
Wool?
Wool?
Yeah, like wool. Because you said...
Yeah, but
Like
it's been
fab-
cut off of a sheep. So it's no longer, like, growing.
But it wasn't alive to be dead.
Yeah, but... Like, wool... There's, like, hair. It grows as dead material, but it is biological.
We are having the weirdest conversations.
Welcome. It's normal. Don't we usually?
Yeah, I feel bad for people who listen to us and don't like, or like people, anybody who pops in and like, what are they talking about?
I feel like that's the point.
I still feel bad.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How does one become a vampire?
Felix looks at you with a slight smile.
Are you considering changing careers?
This is far from the weirdest conversation y'all have ever had on this stream. Yeah, right? Exactly.
What is the weirdest conversation we've had?
What is the weirdest conversation we've had in Pie's opinion?
Putting Pie in the spotlight.
Well, I mean, it depends from person to person what you consider a weird topic.
That's true.
Not sure, but it's not this. I'm glad we have so many that you're not sure which one to pick is, like, particularly weirder, but there are definitely, like, multiple weirder ones.
We just get on topics, and then we get on, like, tangents from those topics.
We did have an argument about the best flavor of Dorito. This is true.
Well, so what's our answer?
Hmm?
Why not? No way.
I don't know.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Well, I guess that one comes from your stream more than it comes from ours.
Which I admit was mostly my fault. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah. I wouldn't really say that's, like, a weird conversation from our stream. Kind of got carried over, perhaps.
Yeah, it was a carryover.
Sure, why not?
I never really thought about it before, but why not?
You're not sure why, but you can see his eyes light up even more.
There are some work benefits that come with being a vampire. Are you trying to recruit some new blood? Quite funny, but I'm not. The only time I changed someone into a vampire was by pure accident. It's just that sometimes I find myself wishing everyone I enjoy conversing with would turn out to be immortal.
Sharky did discuss consuming some weird chemical compound that magic was going to make that was the pure essence of apples and cinnamon. This is true, and you know, that actually might be a winner for weirdest conversations, because, like, magic started going, because I was like, please explain the chemistry of apple and cinnamon. And they were like, yeah, blah, 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 and if you were trying to find the essence, chemically speaking, of an apple, it would probably be this thing, and cinnamon would probably be that thing, and so if you mix these two together, what's the chemistry that happens there? And then they were talking about sending it to Sharky.
Sadly, never happened. So sad.
Yeah, so, by comparison, dead things is not really that strange of a conversation
Magic
topic.
also said it would be super interesting to get a sample of my taste buds and see what's wrong with them.
Well, according to my trauma book I was reading, what's wrong with them might just be trauma.
I need to look at that book at some point. Because apparently it just calls me out on literally everything about my life.
It's a good book. It's it's sort of heavy reading. Partially because it's like, oh, the emotional part. But also partially because it's just very scientific. There's a lot of, like, very science-y, like hard facts, things that are hard to slog through because it's just so much like all these acronyms and science speak and like keeping track of what is what.
Okay.
But it's a good book. I didn't know you could traumatize a taste bud. I don't think you... Well, you can probably traumatize a taste bud.
But what it probably more is...
It's probably... If we're being honest, according to Sharky and how his parents' cooking apparently is, I wouldn't be surprised if they have also traumatized his taste buds. But it was more about, like... people who are dealing with trauma, like, deeply, sometimes, like, don't have a sense of their own bodies. To, like, they don't feel their own bodies, because that's how sort of disconnected they feel, like, brain to body. And so, like, as an example, the author was also a therapist and stuff. And he would sometimes have patients, like, close their eyes and he'd put something in their hand. And then he'd ask them, what do you think you're holding? And some of them were so sort of disconnected from their bodies, like, didn't have sort of a sense of feeling, because of the trauma and, like, brain blocking stuff out, that they couldn't even tell they were holding something. And they couldn't tell if it was, like... It was like the difference between like a paper clip to an apple. They just like couldn't tell. So, the author also makes reference to like people losing sense of taste or like losing the sensations of food and stuff like that. And I was like, hey Sharky, did I find you? I think I found you. I think I found the Sharky in the book. And then I read like another chapter and I was like, I think I found more Sharky.
You said that I will continuously just remember the onion ring story and be sad.
Yeah.
Because that's literally kind of just that.
I mean... maybe you should talk to your therapist about trauma. Or something. I mean, I assume you already kind of are.
I think it's called my family.
I think it's called a lot of things.
Like what? We can also continue from this line, by the way. We can also continue from this line, by the way.
I know. I'm just waiting for dramatic effect.
No, you're not.
You're right, I'm waiting because I'm eating potato chip things.
I thought Satan was going to say, talk to your therapist about onion rings. No. There's a specific time we went out eating and it was so noisy, I kind of like...
We were in a large, loud group.
And I don't do well in crowds. And so at one point I like closed my eyes to focus, and then like apparently people started worrying about me because like I couldn't hear them, and yeah, I think you tried responding. And you guys I think tried to shake me.
I think tried to poke you or something. I don't know about shake. I don't remember.
And then at one point one of them put a like fresh onion ring that like just got to the table like right under my nose.
Quite fragrant. Nice and warm.
And I think I opened my eyes like as that was there, but I didn't know it was there. So I like freaked out.
Was that it? I thought it was that you didn't notice the onion ring at all and you opened your eyes later.
I don't remember. I know I didn't know it was there.
Yes. You were oblivious to the onion ring. I do know that.
I think you'd get bored of them eventually.
Perhaps.
Well, perhaps, but oh, how reveling it would be to have some stability in the face of the ever-changing eternity.
Relieving?
Relieving, reveling, I don't flippin' know. I don't dabba duke. I've grown quite weary of things ending. And everything ends eventually. Does it not dismay you at all, Snecky?
No, I look forward to it. That's the beauty of it.
I think that's kind of beautiful. Makes me appreciate things more when I know they're not forever. Like when I catch an archenemy in an elaborate but non-lethal trap and savor it, knowing it's only a matter of time before they escape. Interesting perspective. Perhaps you would excel at being a vampire after all. Okay, but what about you? How did you become one?
Oh,
Oh, it's not really that exciting of a story. Oh, come on, tell me! To get cursed by a
Badass.
village witch?
Me.
Dot. Gotten bit by another vampire in an epic battle. Dot. What was it? I'm afraid you read too much fantasy. The reality is far less fantastic.
You stare at Felix with anticipation until he finally breaks.
Fine. I died of tuberculosis. Then an old, flea-ridden black cat jumped over my corpse under the full moon. Wait. Is that all it takes to become a vampire? Well, not anymore. It's that easier back then. Procedures have become more complicated in the past few centuries. Most of the juniors we recruit have indeed been bitten by someone from upper management. Upper management? Is vampire a business?
Yeah. That's why he asked if you were considering a career change.
Not your conventional office dynamics. And who am I to judge your work ethics?
Getting away with being a vampire. Felix gets distracted by tending to his flowers, giving you the perfect opportunity to check him out head to toe. What? You notice how his refined, old-fashioned outfit envelops his body delicately, yet not hiding the toned muscles or shapely curves beneath. Perfect tailoring. What?
Are you checking out his clothes or him?
If it was me, it would be the clothes. I think
Okay,
MC
but-
is checking out his body under the clothes somehow.
I like your outfit.
Don't be creepy.
thank you.
I am flattered. Is your wardrobe just a collection of identical vintage costumes? That is not too far from the truth, I must admit. It seems like it would raise suspicion about your vampire lifestyle, though. Being a vampire is not a lifestyle choice, it is who I am. Fair enough, but it is your choice to wear these gorgeous yet extravagant suits. Wouldn't it make your job easier if you sported some more casual attire? I can picture you wearing ripped jeans with some band t-shirts.
You receive a look of sheer disapproval.
You nuts! How outrageous! I will not sacrifice my aesthetic for safety. The sole type of sacrifice I gladly indulge in is one that involves a mortal soul.
Ideal.
I shall add that it has actually gotten a tad easier over the years to hide my identity.
You give Felix a surprised look.
The rise of goth clubs.
Okay, but you probably don't show up at a goth club dressed like this either.
Oh, so you're secretly a party animal?
I feel like you have
Who'd've
better
thought?
chances at a Ren fair.
Yeah. I have to confess, my usual way of withstanding parties is sitting in the bathroom and Reading a book in the light of a portable electric candle. Mood. But they are outstanding locations for a late-night vampire escapade.
Escapade, yep.
Rain.
I am like, wait, Sharky, when you say mood, does that mean that you, too, hide in the bathroom at parties reading books by electric candlelight? Because that last bit is really when it's just like, oh, wow, you're dramatic.
Yes, imagine a shark sitting in a stall with an electric candle and a book.
Uh-huh, okay. That's a funny
That's
image.
me. You should draw that image.
No.
The dim light makes it convenient to hide what needs to remain secret. The alcohol and other substances pumping through the veins of the dancing bodies makes them delightfully more unaware. And compared to most of the self-culture enthusiasts, my outfits seem quite mellow there. Nobody looks at me suspiciously. Okay, I can see that. Though I don't think I've ever been to a goth club myself.
I'm still just like, isn't his outfit a little bright for a goth club?
Oh. Is that so? Ooh, I shall make you my companion sometime in the near future. Post-conference night out.
Did he just ask you out?
I think he did, question mark? But, like, not romantically asked out, maybe?
He very casually asked us on a date, which is fine. Because this isn't a whole, like, 3-month crush building up to a whatever asking out point. It's just like, hey, I met you yesterday. You seem kind of cool. You want to go out sometime?
I want to go out so I can feed a little bit.
You want to go out for dinner?
Wow.
What?
Wow.
You want to get dinner with me sometime? Shark in a bathroom stall reading a book by electric candle. See, that's a lot more than a recolor, though. That's like an art from scratch.
Where's the Satan art from scratch?
There's no option for Satan art from scratch because if I'm streaming, I have to do everything by mouse. Which means,
Yeah, mouse.
Sorry.
Draw.
Hi, I'm gonna refund this because I cannot actually.
You could do that with a mouse.
Look, recolor is recolor. Drawing is like a separate skill.
Yeah.
And drawing with a mouse is just like not fun. Except for when I really desperately want to draw. But then I want to draw like monsters. Then I don't want to be drawing Sharky.
I'm a type of monsters.
No, you're a Sharky. You're a cartoon shark.
Isn't that a monster in and of itself?
Sharks aren't monsters. Sharks are perfectly normal animals.
I don't think cartoon sharks are perfectly normal animals.
They're perfectly normal cartoon animals.
What cartoon am I from?
Sharky Sharky! We've been over this.
That's not a cartoon, that's
I
a
don't care.
band.
I don't care. There are other, like, cartoons that have characters named Sharky, though.
Yes. There's like 2 or 3.
Uh-huh. At least.
As far as the internet says, there's like 2 or 3.
Anyway, I guess we'll accept.
Yeah, I'd love to see you in action. Maybe you could help me with a hunt or two.
Felix smiles shyly and fidgets with a dead leaf. You better start planning your goth outfit. Don't worry. All I have are goth outfits.
Ooh, that's fair. I don't want to make unreasonable requests. I'll make the unreasonable request.
Are you paying me?
Oh. Pooh you.
You realize you've been talking to Felix more than the other conference attendees. Could
Not
it
really.
be because he never tries to make any boring small talk about the weather?
So how's the weather over there?
Especially while you're in a dimension outside of time and space where there isn't any weather.
I have to admit, it's been fun to chat with you.
Huh?
Fun? That is certainly not the adjective I hear most of. Or more.
It's a whole song right there. Let's see, where's
Not a
the
fun
clip button?
What?
Where's the clip button?
No, there's no clip. No clips. That is certainly not the adjective I hear most often when others describe me. You do seem to have a penchant for heavy topics. I like it. It's refreshing. Big conferences and crowds stress me out for many reasons. Nobody needs some excruciating small talk on top of that. I bet there's a special place in heaven filled with just a bunch of nice, extensively polite people perpetually talking about the prices of gas and their new lasagna recipes.
Wait, but I do want new lasagna recipes.
Oh,
Oh, what a delight to hear someone express such a sentiment. I've been pondering about the same. In fact, I must confess, I had looked up some small talk examples before arriving here, but never dared to try them on anyone. You looked up how to do small talk? Oh, that's adorable.
Felix looks you dead in the eye in a truly undead fashion. You're worried you came off too strong.
indeed.
Indeed. My sister told me to ask Uncle Boogle when in doubt. I was a tad confused at first, as I did not remember a relative with such a peculiar name. Uncle Cornelio, for sure. Uncle Dragomir, of course, but Boogle?
New lasagna recipe. Replace tomato sauce with Alfredo sauce and replace whatever meat you were using with Italian sausage. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. Nice. I've been meaning to try, what's it? I think it's called moussaka. It's like a, sort of like a Grecian, Middle Eastern-ish, Mediterranean-ish area. Like eggplant-based lasagna? Where instead of pasta, it's like slices of eggplant. That sounds pretty good as well. The problem with lasagna is that I have to, like, put in the effort of preparing all the layers and the different components and then waiting for it. I just... That's not hard, but it just feels like a lot of effort.
It is certainly easy to forget about people when they come and go so fast. Oh, while you're living through eternity. But I surely would have remembered Uncle Boogle.
Crockpot lasagna. Yes, I do find life a lot easier after having realized that there are like oven-ready lasagna sheets that you don't have to pre-cook. You just put them dry into the thing with all the sauces and stuff and they'll cook in there. And I was like, wow, yeah, that's really helpful. So I did make lasagna a couple months ago that way. And it was pretty good. You resist the temptation to call Felix adorable again.
I'm pretty sure I saw talk about how to use technology for evil, but we might have already missed it. Oh, worry not. That is quite alright. I would have misunderstood half of the terms they used. That is, unless you whispered their meanings in my ear.
And he claimed he was bad at flirting.
Wait, was that flirting?
That was overt flirting. That was a little too overt.
Wait, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's talking about having you whisper things quietly into his ear during this conference.
Is that flirting, though?
The ear is an erogenous zone, I believe. No, I am making Alfredo lasagna this weekend after this conversation. Now I'm craving. Nice.
Good. See, I have no reference to apparently what is flirting.
Well, the ear is like a sensitive erogenous zone, I believe.
There?
And therefore, whispering into it is like hot or whatever.
How did I get cut? I just saw a cut on the back of my, foot.
I find random cuts on me all the time. They're from my cats. Except for last night, where I cut my finger, and that was from cooking.
Saying.
Well, it didn't, break skin. It just kind of peeled a layer of skin off my skin. It was kind of gross. But it didn't pierce skin, so I wasn't bleeding. So it was fine.
Sin!
What? These things happen when you cook. Sometimes.
Stop it.
How often do you cook?
Stop it anyway.
Stop cooking? Do you want me to starve?
No, you're not allowed to starve.
Well, you want me not to cook and you want me not to starve. What am I supposed to do?
Just stop harming yourself accidentally while cooking.
You want to send me an anti-cut glove?
I don't know where you live.
That's right. Unlike me, I know where you live.
I should just move into a ditch somewhere. Nothing.
What, are you dragging your roommate to live in a ditch? Is that what I heard? That's not very nice of you.
I didn't say I was gonna drag my roommate.
That sounds like a bad roommate thing to do.
I didn't say I was gonna drag my roommate.
Well, if you don't drag your roommate along, then is she just stuck paying your share of the rent of the current place? What a shitty roommate thing to do. You shouldn't do that to her.
She actually hasn't even been here for the past, week and a half. She actually hasn't even been here the past week and a half. And she's not gonna be here for the next, week and a half. So... last month? It was, early last month. No. It was, I forget when. She went to her parents' place. And then I suddenly got a message basically saying, hey, I'm staying here tonight. And I'm like, oh? She's like, I found kittens on, a doorstep. Just,
oh, that story.
2 weeks, 2-week-old kittens. Just out in the cold. So, they found a place for the kittens. But then, sometime last week, she basically got a message that was take the kittens back, I'm done with them.
What?
Yeah. So, she's holding the kittens at her parents' place until they're old enough to get, neutered or whatever. So that they could then go to, an adoption place.
Oh, they have to neuter them first?
Apparently. And they're literally too young. For that.
Because the adoption places I went to, they all handled the spaying and neutering for all the cats.
Yeah, I think the one that like they were going to go to was like too small, so they don't handle that, or they don't have a person to handle that or something. So like they have to wait until they're bigger before they can that can happen, and then they can take them.
Well,
And the appointment to like neuter them is like next week.
uh-huh.
So like earliest they'll be at like I think what's scheduled for them to go to the adoption place is like next Saturday.
What's it like to be willing to stay back at home with your parents for that long? Just like willingly.
Well, she learned that my high school was in the news, so weird.
That wandered off for a second and came back to talking about neutering. Kittens.
Kittens. Literally
Chucky's
just
roommate
kittens.
found a box of kittens that were cold or something.
It was like two kittens like just on a doorstep at like 2 weeks old. Apparently one of them might still be too small. Like, even at like 7 weeks, like what was I think that they're at like 6 or 7 weeks now or something like that.
Pie would like a box of kittens.
It's like might still be too small to do that.
Alright, so it sounds like the solution is that your roommate needs to drive the kittens over state lines to bring them to Pie. I don't know where Pie lives, but
that would be a far
past
drive.
state lines, certainly.
That would be a far drive.
That would be for a couple small cats that age. That would be kind of difficult.
Yeah. Then I would have to come with to keep my roommate company.
Give baby kitties.
Well,
We'll come fetch them.
sadly, they're not at my place.
Okay, that doesn't mean that Pie can't go fetch them.
That's still a far drive.
Mm-hmm.
Are we yawning?
I mean, I
Are
would
we
mostly
leaving?
find it extremely funny if Pie met your roommate in person without meeting you.
Oh, that would be also hilarious.
Like, kind of awkward, but also kind of really funny.
Sadly, my roommate...
I've driven farther for things I've wanted less.
Sadly, my roommate refuses to call me Sharky.
Wasn't she willing to call you, like, Shark Boy or something?
Yeah, she's willing to, like...
Felix Jones. You should probably step up your game.
Like, she's willing, like, if I, like, decide a new name to call me that, but, like, won't call me Sharky because it's too cutesy.
It's less that it's cutesy and more that it's cartoony. Sharkman Jones, the third Esquire.
My father's name was Sharky. And his father before him.
What if we just adapt Solomon from the Bible and you can be Sharkman? Sharkamon? King Sharkamon. Sharkathan. Sharkington. You know, Sharkington almost sounds like a cat name.
charcuterie board. Sharkball. I do want to know, like, would your roommate be willing, instead of Sharky, to call you charcuterie? Sharksworth.
I don't know. You could message her, ask her.
That would be just slightly strange of a message. I did message her eventually about Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh, what did she say?
Oh, I was just telling her about the book, and she said thanks for the tip, and that was kind of it, because I don't know how to make a conversation.
You talk to me constantly.
That doesn't mean I know how to make conversation. We just brain vomit.
Isn't that what conversation?
Shark Bastion.
Sharksworth.
Uh-huh.
What?
Yes?
I don't think I can go to, like, people and be like, I've changed my name. Oh, what'd you change it to? Shockbold.
Sharkbald. Uh-huh. Why not?
I think somebody would look at me like I've,
Listen, I'm over here coming up with solutions. Sharklutions, if you will. Or even if you won't, because I will. I love the Sharklutions.
I'm so glad this is getting cut out.
Is it? I think that's a sign that he's enjoying this pie. I think you should keep going.
Yeah, but I don't think I can come up with somebody and say, oh yes, I am now,
Shark word the
Shark-
second.
I am now Shockathan Jones.
Why not? That's great.
Shocky for short.
Uh-huh.
I don't...
I feel like we're just coming up with a cast for a whole shark cartoon, in fact.
Yes! Yes! This is the name of, like, a shark cartoon. You have a Shockathan over there, and then there's, and
Over
then there's
here is
Shockabald,
Sharkington.
who's the...
Sharkabald is over here. Sharksworth over there. And this is Sharky, the baby.
It sounds like a rich family who just, like, bickers all the time?
Yes. I mean, especially because these are, like, names that would normally get shortened in everyday parlance.
And then there's Sharksworth. He's the butler.
Trying to figure out how to turn Shaban into a shark thing, but I'm struggling. Sharkan. Sharkban?
Isn't that supposed to be... How do you pronounce that? Because that's like... I think it's supposed to be like... how is that pronounced? I've heard
Siobhan.
it before. Siobhan.
Yeah? Sharkan?
Sharkbon? Siobhan? Sharkbon?
Sharkon. Sharkoff.
It's a sharker.
Sharkafeller.
Sharkafeller. Why am I some rich dudes?
Look, this is actually all a spell to turn Sharky rich enough so he can quit his awful job.
Ah, yes, and I look at my bank account and whoa! I have a whole $5. Oh, my sincere
5 million.
apologies.
That'd be nice.
You should... I literally wouldn't know what to do with any of it.
5 million sounds nice. What you do with it is just like buy a home. And then leave it in savings and go about your life. And that'll probably last you the rest of your life.
see, but I would be like, okay, I like get a home, pay off my student loans, and then I would be like, do I need the rest of this?
No. See, what you do is you put the rest of it into like a savings account, and then you just don't work. You just do whatever you want and live off that money forever until you die.
Or I could just like give
And then
it
you
to
give
people.
the rest to charity.
Or I could just like give it to people because like I don't need this money. You take it. It's like, why do I need this money? You just take it. Oh, my sincerest apologies. That is not about you. You would imagine that the second one becomes a vampire. One's body ceases to respond to tiredness and such humanly ways. Oh, but alas.
You can't help but yawn in response.
Sorry to be so disgustingly human in your presence. Guess at least now you can be sure I'm not a merciless psychopath.
I don't know. I feel like merciless psychopaths might still yawn sometimes.
That's why I could never be as rich as Jeff Bezos, because I couldn't stop myself giving the money away.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
being as rich as Jeff Bezos requires a certain amount of ripping people off in the first place.
yes.
So.
Yes. But
Like,
like,
if you're as rich as Jeff Bezos, you've done something horribly wrong before you got to the point of having this money.
But like, even before that, like, once I'm at a point where I'm like, yeah, like, all I really need is like this much to be stable. And like, okay, I can put this much away for like whatever. Like, after that, it's kind of just like, I don't know what to do with the rest of it. Hey, do people want this money? I don't need
to
money.
be fair,
People take this money.
I live in a very expensive state.
Yes,
So-
I live.
When I say keep this money and then just live off of it, what I have in mind is like really just thinking about how much money I have to pay just on rent
Yes.
in a year.
Yeah.
Which, if you buy a home, you have like property taxes and all of those things in
Yes.
its place. And you have to pay for food and just all the living expenses over time. You
But
can
I'm
give
also
some
the-
of it away.
But I'm also the type where I'd probably still like work a part-time job or something because I'm like, I don't know what to do with all my time other than like sleep.
I mean, like, well, I guess depending on what you like to do, right? But you would have a lot more freedom to not have to work a shitty job. Like, if you
Yeah.
wanted a part-time job, you could hold out for something that you actually enjoy. Or you could do like one of those thingies of people starting business. You could just focus on like streaming and YouTube and stuff. Not as a means of living and like income, but just because you have fun with it. Just because you enjoy doing it.
Speaking of which, I should like upload to our VOD channel again.
You should.
I was going to do that today,
And then you fell asleep.
and then I fell asleep.
Thanks for handling it all the time.
Yes, I'm the one who handles it. Once I get past the beginning of November, we're fine.
What do you mean?
Because once Extra Life last year happens, that's where the last really like piecing it together needs to happen.
For a while.
Other than like last week.
Well,
because-
did it disconnect them last week?
Yes, it did.
Because I know I only got one post-stream email for it.
It did, because I actually saw it.
Well, that sucks.
But like, after that, I fixed it so I wasn't blue screening. You haven't blue screened during a stream.
Well, I haven't blue screened while being the one to stream.
Yes.
In a while. I did blue stream that last time you played, Undertale, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I just wasn't the one streaming, so it didn't impact
No, that was.
things.
Oh yeah, it was last time. So like after that, which is like beginning-ish of November of last year, it's basically just upload, do the thing, upload, do the thing, upload. There's no like stitching it together and rendering and all that stuff. Like it's very quick, like much quicker and simpler to get it all done.
Mm-hmm. Great. Good.
You just have to get there.
Then get there.
What?
What is Extra Life? I guess we're not
Uh,
doing that.
I think it already happened.
No, I think it's this weekend.
Oh, sorry, I have to work this weekend.
I'm on call this weekend.
Yeah, like... Given we are at a villain conference, it is interesting we have not left this person. Of you to assume I would have been bothered by that. But what do you mean?
I mean, that said, we also didn't do Extra Life on the day last time, but we still did, like, an Extra Life stream.
Yeah. I read somewhere that contagious yawning indicates empathy. Makes me feel a little bit better about myself every time I catch someone's yawn. Empathy? Oh, Snicky, please!
You forgot empathy was a touchy subject for this one.
Don't worry, I'm not in a hurry to run for president or some humanitarian aid organization right this instance.
Thanks
Actually,
to
it
your,
could be whenever you want.
thanks to your infallible empathy skills, you noticed a look of relief on Felix's face. Joe's husband does his all year long.
That's true.
Yeah, and we did keep all the rewards available up through the end of last year.
I just don't know what we would do this year.
Me neither. But, I mean, we didn't really know what we were doing last time either.
I don't
We
know
just,
what I'm doing anytime.
Bullshitted our way through it.
I don't know what I'm ever doing. Who am I?
Oh,
Why am I
right. Last
here?
year was because we also were waiting for you to receive Kingdom Hearts.
Because I played through that entire game.
And I missed the vast majority of it.
I literally... Well, the only thing that you showed up for was the important part.
Well, no, I showed up a couple other times.
That's... But, like... You were there for the important part, the last, like, 20 minutes.
Yes. Well, partially you, like, waited for me.
Yeah, I did. And I, like, 100%ed it.
Uh-huh.
Not really. But, like... I did so much of that game. Anyway. That was a good game. I have to play it again eventually. Speaking of this instant, since my stand does not seem particularly busy right now, have you decided who you wish to threaten with my exceptional floral arrangement technique?
You're not sure yourself whether you're being extremely indecisive or just don't want to run out of excuses to swing by Felix.
I have a strong candidate. Would you like to tell me about them? I thought you'd never ask.
Teacher or childhood bully? Wow. This MC is like really uncreative about it. Come on. The person you should send a bullying flower bouquet to is the person who cloned you without consent.
We don't know who they are.
I know.
How can you send a bouquet to somebody you don't know anything about?
By asking the clone to bring it.
Okay, but you would have to ask the clone. You'd have to ask the clone to give us information about the person.
No, not
so that
asking
we
for
can tell
information.
them.
You just hand the bouquet to the clone and say, hey, this is for your creator. I'm still not quite sure who they are, but like,
But
can you pass this along for me? Thanks.
But he literally said, tell me about them. So we at least need some level of understanding to tell them so we can get the correct messages.
We know they have a cat. And like a flying chair or something. And that apparently they're into science enough to clone us.
Parkington out.
Sharky in. Anyway,
Teacher or bully? Since these are our only options.
Why not both?
I mean, I guess if your teacher bullied you.
What if my teacher was my childhood bully?
That sucks. I guess we'll do a bully, because that more obviously deserves it.
There's this person I knew in middle school. Anyway, they were my designated middle school bully. I'm starting to think that's how schools actually work, you know? There's some genius evil systems in place, and we just don't know about it. Bully headquarters or something. Have you had a bully? I was a teenager a long time ago. Homeschooled. By myself. You're lucky then! Maybe you found a loophole in the bully assignment system. Teenagers are the true villains. No matter how hard we try, we can never reach their level.
Sure reminds me of the song lyric of teenagers scare the living shit out of me. As long as someone will bleed.
That song is still stuck in my head, by the way.
Which one? Hamster
The
dance?
one. Yes. I don't know why.
You should listen to more music.
Alright, I've been listening to murders.
Hmm?
I've been listening about murders lately.
Mm-hmm.
People do some weird things.
They do.
And people find some very weird, like, bodies.
Uh-huh, because people did weird things to the bodies.
Like,
Right.
what was the last one I heard? It was a doctor in Australia who might have died due to somebody putting a adrenaline needle in their heart. Like, sticking it into their heart and overloading them with adrenaline.
That seems like a very clean way of killing someone.
But they could never convict the guy that they think did it. Because not enough evidence.
Like I said, that sounds like a very clean way of killing someone. Speaking of songs, did you know Carolyn Danson turned 20? I did hear about that, and
I don't know what that is.
Anyway, so about murder. I did come across a thing recently that I think somewhere in Seattle or something, like last year, it was found that this landlord, like, killed and chopped up his tenants and, like, buried their bodies somewhere.
There was one I heard that was like, a family found a note that their child was, like, taken, and they had to, like, drop off, like, some money, or the child was going to die or whatever. And within a few hours, they found the child dead in their basement.
Yikes.
And there were signs that the child was always in the basement. And that the note was in the house. So, like, some crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like,
Welcome to the Aces podcast. We are ostensibly playing a game, but we're actually really not playing a game.
We're really just talking about all the ways that, like, our brains just go, here's some information.
So about your therapist saying you should get tested for ADHD.
We still have to, like, go over some more of the stuff.
I feel like I've just accepted that I probably have it.
We went over the inattentive symptoms.
Uh-huh.
We have to go over the hyperactive symptoms.
So the part where girls usually get misdiagnosed because it doesn't express itself the same way.
Yeah. Yes. Which apparently, I'm like, according to what we checked off, I have like 6 out of the 9 inattentive ones. Which
Do you remember what they are?
What?
Do you remember what they are?
No, I do not. Oh, here it is. I actually found it. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Displays poor listening skills. Loses and these are just all the symptoms.
Yes.
Loses and or misplaces items needed to complete activities or tasks. Sidetracked by external or unimportant stimuli. Forgets daily activities. Diminished attention span. Lacks ability to complete schoolwork and other assignments or to follow instructions. Avoids or is disinclined to begin homework or activities require concentration. Fails to focus on details and or makes thoughtless mistakes in schoolwork or assignments.
I think it's a bad sign that I tuned out for like 3 of those.
Wow. Sharky,
I'm
why are you
sorry.
describing me?
I got distracted.
Apparently the hyperactive is squirms when seated or fidgets with hands and feet, which is like me in a nutshell. Marked restlessness that is difficult to control. Overly talkative. Hey, am I overly talkative?
Only with specific people.
Oh, okay. No, like, do you know why I'm so quiet, though? Did I tell you?
Do you want to explain to the class?
So, this is apparently, I've heard this after the fact because I was...
Yes, we are reading the ADHD symptom list.
This happened when I was very young. I used to talk a lot when I was young. And then at one point, they literally screamed at me to shut up. Like, and they kept doing that until I just stopped talking.
So about trauma.
Incapable of staying seated in class. I wasn't incapable of staying seated, but, like, I was incapable of, like, not moving while seated in class. It was bad.
Well, that's why I hate being on video calls.
Because
I feel like I'm just bouncing around and stuff, and I'm like, no one else is doing this. I feel awkward.
Lacks ability to play and engage in leisure activities in a quiet manner. I'm pretty quiet, I think.
I mean, you'll be more vocal if you're around other people. I think that's a normal thing. And I've only ever seen you playing around other people because that implies I'm there.
Yeah. Appears to be driven by a motor, is often on the go. No, I'm just often asleep. Difficulty waiting turns. Interrupts or intrudes into conversations and activities of others. No, because I'm like literally just feeling bad about doing that. So
I'm
never...
like, sorry, don't have that symptom. Anxiety too high.
Yes. Impulsively blurts out answers before questions completed. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, I feel so bad when I do that, but yes. I remember answering a question and one of my teachers being like, how do you know that's the right answer? I'm like, because I do. And they're like, but I haven't even finished asking the question. I'm like, okay, but that's the right answer.
Not if the question's something that you didn't anticipate.
It was the right answer. It was like a math class.
What is 5 plus?
No, it was like, it wasn't that. It was like, I forget what it was. But it was something where, like, all the information was already out there, but he just hadn't finished, like, stating, like, wording some of the stuff. But, like, it wasn't needed information for the answer. So my brain already, like, boop, I'm done. Here's the answer.
Should
Sorry.
be careful. Those are the kinds of things where they'll put in a trick thing about the question. So you have to read it all the way to the end, or hear it all the way to the end.
And after all that teenage torture, you know what they did? Last week they sent me a friend request on Facebook. Can you imagine the audacity?
You're not sure whether Felix actually understands what you're talking about, but he nods his head with his signature mellow enthusiasm.
So I don't know if I actually, like, fully display, like, if I am ADHD, so...
I've also, seen the things of, like... Well, so, I mean, my brother has ADHD.
Yes,
so,
your brother has ADHD.
as it is, I'm like, oh, the chances that I have it, you know, as I've gotten older, I'm realizing, oh shit. I see the ADHD memes go by and I go, oh no, this is me. Like, every time. Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Your brother has it,
What
you
was I
relate
gonna
to it.
Yes. What was I gonna say before that? What was I gonna say after that? I don't remember anymore.
Wow.
Oh no, now I remember. It was the sort of joke of, like, if you're neurotypical but all of your friends have, like, ADHD, got some news for you. And I'm like, you know, I do have several friends, I guess, who have ADHD. And if you are diagnosed with it, then that means that both of the people that I talk to the most on a regular basis have something like that. So shit.
Got some news for you. Oh man, no, I mean obviously.
But I mean the
like,
biggest thing being, my brother's diagnosed with it. So if I relate this hard to so many of these things, that probably indicates that I probably have it too. Fuck.
Yeah, when my therapist was talking about it, she's like, "You seem to have like some knowledge." I'm like, I follow a bunch of ADHD like people, so like I've just learned about it, and because I followed them because I relate so hard with some of their crap or some of their stuff. So
Yeah. I have a bunch of friends in real life as well who have
Also,
posted
hello,
at various
Melik.
times about it because of all the things.
Hmm?
I have various friends from real life who have also posted various memes and stuff about it because they have it.
See, I don't think I know anybody who has it, like, I've met, like, in person. Or at least that I know that they have it.
I guess that you know of.
Yeah, because I don't know medical stuff about everybody I talk to. It's not my business. So,
Yeah, I mean, it depends. It just depends what people have brought up.
yeah. So for me, I'm just like, I ran across a bunch of ADHD stuff. I'm like, this just feels like me. I'm like, when I was talking to my therapist, because she's like, yeah, I also have it. I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean, it's one of those things that they say is overdiagnosed, but really it's probably being underdiagnosed.
It's a mess.
The mental health system's a mess.
Yeah. So when we were talking about it, like we were going over systems, and one of the things was she's like, yeah, like object permanence is an issue. I'm like, yeah, object permanence is my continual issue. Because like I will legitimately forget I own something if it's not like in front of my face for like a day.
This is why things in the back of the fridge get forgotten forever.
You know, this is why things like in a cabinet get forgotten forever.
Well, I open my cabinets on a regular basis. Though I do also forget things that are right in front of my face in the cabinets.
Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, it's a mess. It's just a flippin' mess. I should read this line. Say no more. They deserve the worst. Let me know once you feel certain. I'll start thinking about the flowers they deserve. A yellow carnation, maybe?
I try to remember what a yellow carnation means.
I don't think it was death.
It was several months, or several weeks ago, or like a month ago or something. I don't fucking remember.
I mean, I could cheat.
You could.
I'm gonna say disdain, though. Or is it death? I don't remember. My gut says disdain.
Okay.
That symbolizes disdain, right?
Felix looks impressed.
Indeed.
Aha!
Good job.
My gut. Thank you, gut.
I mean, it was kind of a 50-50 shot.
Indeed, you are a fast learner. Or maybe you're just a very good teacher. What? I need to get going.
And that's it for...
Farewell. Hey, we finally left talking to him, and it's only an hour and 30 minutes into the stream.
Uh-huh.
Hey, we have a message.
We do. From Satan. Have you heard about the 3 unwritten rules of life?
Be kind, have fun, and try not to mind too much about that.
Nah. They go 1, 2, 3. That's so stupid.
That's the. For someone with no kids, you sure tell a lot of dad jokes. You're a real faux pas.
Okay, that's all that we could talk to Felix without time passing.
We could talk to. We haven't really talked to Robot Nova.
We haven't really talked to Nova. We haven't really talked to Madame What's-Her-Face.
Snooty rich person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. So would you rather talk to robots or snooty rich person?
Speaking of jokes, why do sharks swim in salt water?
Why do sharks swim in salt water, Melik? Please, tell the class.
Because pepper water makes them sneeze. Wow. That's...
I can solely say I wasn't expecting that one.
Uh-huh.
I,
Are you salty about it?
oh, my clapping's not coming through. Come on, Mike.
Nope. It's not.
I'm as salty as a pretzel. Tasty.
You're tasty?
Nom 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 nom.
Who's eating you?
My liver?
Your liver is eating you from the inside?
Yes.
That's not very nice of it. My liver protects me.
No, I think your liver's been dead.
I have been waiting to tell that joke for like a week. I'm glad that you did. It's great.
Were you not here the last week, Melik?
Well, Malik
Or
was
were you-
here to talk about the squeezy bottle of sauce.
Right. But Melik was also gonna like be driving.
Yeah,
really
Malik was
close.
driving at the time.
Yeah.
So I guess Malik wasn't conveniently here.
That's true. That is very true. Well,
I want
thank
to know
you
how
for
many
joining.
channel points Malik has.
Not enough for Sharky Sings.
Yet. I'm coming in at the end of stream mostly. That
Well, I mean, it is kind of hard when you're like,
too. With the time difference.
yeah, when it. Oh, I mean, yeah, when it's 1 p.m. on Thursday for you right now. So Nova or
35.3.
oh my gosh, y'all are crazy.
I was curious who had more, Malik or Magic. I guess it's Magic. But I think Magic's more available to join at the beginning of streams.
Yeah.
Also, again, because of time difference stuff.
Yeah. Which your child must be working on schoolwork like a good child.
Or out having fun somewhere, maybe.
Fun, what's that?
Something good children do.
Ah, no wonder I wasn't a good child. So Nova or Snotty?
Nova or Snobby?
Yeah.
I guess we should talk to the Snobby one, just so we remember what the fuck her name was.
It's like
Broussard
I was gonna say Delacroix, but that's the vampire potato.
That's Messard, sorry.
Yes. I was thinking of the potato.
Patat! Very cute.
You know, our adopted potato.
Adopted Patat.
When did small children start being called potatoes?
I mean, I don't think people call them potatoes. I think people call them patat.
No, because one of the D&D streams that I watch, there was one campaign where there was like a small murder child who they kept calling a potato.
Murder potato?
Yes, it was a small murder potato.
Uh-huh.
Who was the cleric?
It's funny because I usually think of potatoes being like, depending what kind of potato, being kind of heavy and big relative to other vegetables sometimes.
Yes, but it was a murder potato.
Okay.
The cleric was a murder potato.
But was it a heavy potato? Because, like, russet potatoes are pretty hefty.
Probably not. The child was very tiny.
Why not tomato? Tomatoes tend to be kind of small.
I don't know, but they were the potato.
Anyway. Well, now that we've remembered her name, should we see her or Nova?
would roll a dice, but the dice are too far.
Flip a coin.
Okay. Heads or tails? Which one? Which one goes to which?
We'll say that because it goes upwards, that Masara's heads. Because the head is up.
Tails.
Of your body. Okay, Nova it is. Beep boop.
Hello, Snecky. Finished processing the data from the previous experiment. I was wondering if you could help me with my field research again? Wait, what? We didn't help her, did we? What is it this time? Finding a treat in a maze. Oh, that'd be wonderful. But unfortunately, I can't leave the conference area, so we'll just have to make do with another quiz.
Oh, I think this is one of the mini games.
Did we do that?
I don't think so.
Do you have time right now? Sure.
Correct.
Just
I don't know
jumping
which
right
one
in to answer the question.
That's right.
I can't help it. Where do jack-o'-lanterns originate from?
My guess is Ireland, but I don't know if that's true.
Do you want to consult the Boogles?
Oh yes, I'll consult the Boogles.
No, it's not Google, it's Boogle. Uncle Boogle.
Oh, I was right.
It is Ireland?
Yee.
That's right.
They were actually originally turnips.
Oh, I know that. We're in Factory 4 you
Oh.
can actually do a turnip head hat the same way you can do with pumpkin hat.
In fact, the name Jack-o'-lantern comes from an Irish folktale about a man named Stingy Jack. What's an introvert? Somebody named Satan and or Sharky.
There are other introverts out there.
Yes, I know. I'm a great example of one.
I'd like to click this, but I also want to get it right. And I don't know if that'll count that.
Get it right.
Yes, that's it.
Which one of these is not a hardware?
Oh, I wonder which one.
That's
Beep boop.
right.
Now I'd like to ask you a personal question. How do you want to be remembered? As a fearless leader, as a wise philosopher, as a successful villain? I'd rather be forgotten. Ooh, that's a me answer. That's a me answer. I'd rather be forgotten.
But here's the thing. If you're successful, will you be remembered as a villain?
If you're a successful villain, yes.
But if you're successful, it's the whole thing of history is written by the victors.
But successful villains don't necessarily need to be, like, ruling the world.
Yeah, but if you were successfully villainous, like if your goal is to be remembered as a villain, then, like, how do I put it? Like, say with Lupin, right? He's always like, everyone knows me. Of course everyone knows me. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, Lupin, you're a thief. The goal is to not be known.
But, like...
So you could argue
Success-
that as a villain, as a thief, he's not being very successful.
But, like, a successful villain would be somebody who, like, pulled off a heist and stole $1 trillion.
Okay.
Oh, that's a successful villain.
If you succeeded at that, you don't want your identity known. Right?
Maybe they do.
You're not very successful then. Because they're gonna get jailed or whatever.
And if that's if they get caught. Like, villains aren't necessarily, like, sneaky thieves. Some villains are
You're
very out
saying
in
if
the
they
open
get
about
caught,
it.
but we're talking about them openly being like, yo, it was me.
As I said, some like villains in stories are very open about their villainry.
Yeah. Are they successful? Does that make them successful?
Well, no, because in those stories, the hero always wins. Because we have designated that in stories, the hero must win in the end.
I mean, they don't have to.
Anyway, how do we want to be remembered?
As a bickering pair of dumbasses? Are your laughs getting filtered? I caught a little bit of that.
Yes, they are. Hey, chat, will we be remembered successfully?
As a villain?
I'm not a villain.
Yes, you are. You're villain Sharky.
No, I am
Sometimes.
not a villain. No, there has never been a villain Sharky icon, therefore I'm not a villain.
So we need to get your art friend to get on that one, huh? Because it's in the queue.
We don't need to do anything.
You're right, just you.
I don't need to do anything.
It's in the queue. Under yours.
Okay, but guess what? I'm not commissioning that.
Hmm?
Pick an answer.
We'll do the Sharky answer, I suppose. And
Be famous? Band. Whether you will be remembered by us is dependent on us living longer than you.
Yup.
Really? How long will it take for plastic to completely decompose?
Also, I think it's really funny that we got a spam bot asking, want to be famous, just as we said, I want to be forgotten.
Yes. Yes.
Like, the irony there is just great.
So how long does it take for plastic to completely decompose?
I think it depends on the type of plastic, but most likely hundreds of years.
Okay.
Wow. I'm surprised your squishy brain got this one.
Wow. Which
Which of these classic fairy tales does not contain a stepmother?
Pied Piper. It's Snow White. Is that mother or stepmother?
Snow White's the stepmother. Is there a stepmother in Hansel and Gretel? Like, it's definitely one of the two on the right. I just...
Pied Piper step.
So about going back to Oz Mafia one day. Speaking of Hamlin, Hansel and Gretel.
Weren't they the two children who very much, the plot.
Oh wait, were they running away from a bad stepmother?
Fairy Tale Wiki. I am on Fairy Tale Wiki right now.
Okay.
The entry for stepmother. The wicked stepmother is a fictional character archetype commonly present in fairy tales, including Snow White, Cinderella, Hansel and Gretel, and others.
Great. Well,
Correct.
So as I said, the Pied Piper. What's the law of attraction?
something I'm not handling well based on my dating history. I'm guessing the bottom left? Because this doesn't seem correct, and that doesn't seem correct. I'm pretty sure it's not this.
Yeah,
Do
go
you want to look
for
it up?
Sure.
Boogle?
I'll cheat the system with Boogle. Okay. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Wow. I don't. Everything I'm seeing is actually the top right.
It is the top right.
Everything I'm seeing is
Yes,
saying the
that's
top
it.
right, yeah.
Wow. Which are the following are examples of naturally occurring clones.
Yes, that's it.
Now let me ask you something personal again. If you were given the death penalty on Earth, what would you require for your last meal? Roast beef with red wine gravy, chickpea curry, mac and cheese. I refuse to eat anything.
I don't know, all of these sound good.
Even the refuse to eat anything sounds good?
Yeah.
Well, with me with a lack of sense of taste, I have no opinions. So, I don't know. Do you want me to roll a d4? Or do you have an opinion?
My opinion is I want a food that can help me escape.
Well, sorry, I don't think there's a food that can help you escape the death penalty.
I don't know, different things interact with your immune system differently. One of my friends is transitioning, and so she's on hormones and stuff. She can't have like grapefruit.
Interesting.
So depending on how you're gonna die,
At that point, they would just try a different way.
probably. But it buys
So
you
at that
some
point,
time.
you haven't like escaped. They're just trying again.
It buys you some time.
So pick something.
They'll do red wine gravy. That sounds fancy.
All right, let's keep going. Which of these devices do not have vision? Not have vision? Well, elevator doors do.
Security camera.
There are cameras on cars. I don't think solar panels do.
Google. Solar panel vision.
Do solar panels have cameras?
Like, I'm guessing it's solar panel, but
Everything I'm saying are like cameras with actual cameras with solar panels. So I assume it's solar panel.
That's right.
who was the most successful pirate of all time?
Yes, it's totally Jack Sparrow. I think it's the top left, actually.
That's what I'm inclined to say, but do you want to search it? Should I search it? Should I do some Googling?
It is.
Correct.
Remember the nonary games?
Yes, I do remember the Nonary games.
So I guess it's this one, right?
9, 9, 9,
Correct.
9.
Actually, that means no. Wait. What is a guilty pleasure?
Bottom right.
Yes. Although I'm amused by some of these other answers.
Yes, that's it.
That brings me to my last question. Wait, but there's so much.
There's so much left at the bar. Hold on, Nova.
Do you have any guilty pleasures? I love popping bubble wrap. Is that really a guilty pleasure?
I like that openly.
I love drinking pickle juice straight from the jar. Love watching shows where people complain about their relationships. Isn't that like most TV shows right now? I love singing even if I suck. That's not really a guilty pleasure? Is
What?
it?
Which,
The singing even if I suck.
for some people, I guess.
Oh, I mean, yeah, if you're ashamed that you suck.
Or I mean, some people might not openly sing, but, you know, indulge in it privately, even if they suck.
Hi.
Uh-huh. That is a call out. That's correct.
Why are you calling me out?
For fun.
Stop calling me out. What are you, that trauma book?
For fun and profit.
You're
Actually,
not
there's no
making
profit
any
to be
money.
made.
So what's your answer? What is Satan's guilty pleasure? Click, 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 click.
You know, I had to answer this on an icebreaker game thing once.
Really?
And I was just like, I don't know. I feel like I like all my stuff pretty openly. We'll say singing.
Classic.
Apparently classic. Wait, what about the rest of the bar, Nova?
Thanks for playing with me. This gives me a lot of insight into the human mind. Okay. Tell me about yourself. I'd like to hear more about you.
Yes.
Of course. What would you like to hear? My technical specifications? An excerpt from my user's manual? No, I meant you as in you. That's not very helpful. Something more along the lines of... what's your favorite thing about being a robot?
Yeah, you know, Sharky's an aspiring robot, after all.
Huh.
I haven't experienced being anything other than a robot. I don't have enough data to compare. Although there are life forms that intrigue me far more than humans, whom I've been modeled after. What would you rather be if you got to choose?
She answers without a hint of hesitation.
A naked mole rat, of course.
Wow. Such big, shiny eyes.
Yeah, I surely didn't expect that to be your answer. Of course you didn't. They are the most underappreciated animal.
I don't know, they were pretty appreciated in Kim Possible.
I was just about to be like, Rufus! Because for some odd reason I remember the mole rat's name.
Uh-huh.
Statistically speaking, they have remarkable flexibility and resilience, much more than humans. Let me show you.
Here, Rufus, apparently.
Rufus!
Naked
Miracles of... Are you... Go for it, read.
Okay, fine. Only because you've had to do both characters so far. Naked mole rats. Miracles of nature. Naked mole rats have many baffling and amazing abilities. They very rarely get cancer and are incredibly resilient. But their most incredible quality is that they don't age like other animals. Usually, the risk of death considerably rises as a mammal ages, but studies suggest that the same natural laws don't apply to naked mole rats. They can live up to 20 times longer than other small rodents.
Wow. Aren't they amazing?
Why are all of them to do with their physical appearance?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they are amazing based on what we just read, but none of these options are about that. They're about the picture.
They either look hideous, kinda cuter, beautiful.
Well, Sharky?
I guess they're kind of cute. If you squint, that's not what I meant.
If they're dancing around and rapping.
And have chips or tacos or whatever.
She squints at you.
Squinting makes most creatures look better. Kinda cute, you say? Kinda is a strange unit of measurement that differs from subject to subject. But I have an idea what you mean. Kinda.
Well, nice talking to you, Nova.
It has been 2 hours.
It has. I was leaving so I could save.
Okay, good.
Seeing as we are conveniently in between. We only went from these like 3 time slots.
Yes. We
Are
are
slow.
bad at this. We don't know what we're doing.
We do
I
not.
don't know what I'm ever doing.
We're
don't know why
tangenting.
I'm
That's what
here.
we're doing. I'm
Have
gonna
a
go
good
make
night, everyone.
sausage for dinner.
I thought you. What did you say?
I said I was gonna go make sausage for dinner.
Okay.
What did you think I said?
I don't know. We'll be back Friday for more murder?
For more violence, I guess, yeah.
I kind of doubt that we're going to be finishing it this Friday because I have yet to
Depends
cry.
how good you are.
I have yet to cry.
Alright, well thanks for joining. And
See
have
you
a
next
good
time.
next couple days.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
All right. See you next stream.